what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for The Chi Season 3, Episode 9. So you know what day it is, you know what time it is. Sing along with me, please. Everlasting life, everlasting life, everlasting life is free. I'm so glad Jesus gave it to me. Everlasting life is free. Amen. Amen. And the review, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with Keisha dreaming about her kidnapper. I'd imagine that it would be hard for her to get him out of her head. You know, she wakes up screaming and she wakes up Kev in the other room as well. So she hurries up and gets on an app on her phone to calm her down. The person is telling her breathing techniques, and Kev comes in there and is like, I came in here because I heard you screaming. Are you okay? And she was just like, I'm okay. Like, get the fuck out. All right. Poor Kev. I mean, they need to get Kev probably some therapy if they haven't already. Now, at the beach, we see Nina and Dre. They're walking on that Chicago beach that I didn't know anything about. They're walking, and Nina was just like, can't believe that, you know, she didn't let Dre even talk her into being out on the beach. I mean, it's freezing cold. Everybody got on beanies and big old coats and all of that. And Dre says it's good sometimes to, you know, get out of the box and do things that you don't normally do. And Nina's still worried that Keisha's not going to be the same. And Dre tells her, don't worry, we're going to create a new normal. And, you know, they're going to get past this. All we got to do is keep putting one foot in front of the other. But it turns out that the group that they're walking with is actually like a self-help group. And when they all gather, the person that's I guess responsible for the group is telling them about releasing burdens and, you know, just admitting to the burdens and then letting them go. So Nina's telling Dre that her burden is her children and her being worried all the time that she's not going to be able to protect them. Dre tells her that hers is that she won't be able to save Nina and I guess the family as well. She said a friend told her a long time ago that she has like a savior complex, but she just feels like she always wants to fix those that's broken. For some reason, they're easier to love. And Nina was like, oh, so you, that's the only reason why you love this broken girl in particular. All I know is good thing that Dre is there, even though she can be kind of a lot sometimes. I don't know what Nina would do without Dre. Now, we see that Keisha really is not okay, all right? When she's walking down the street, and Kev is following her, by the way, because he doesn't feel, you know, he doesn't want her out of his sight. Basically, she's not safe just walking down the street. She told him that he don't have to follow her. But when some men cat call out to her, you know, it like triggers something in her, and all of a sudden, you know, she's about to have a panic attack. Kev is just like, "Are you okay?" And she brushes him off, and then she's like, "I can't believe that you would say that you're not happy that I'm back." And he was like, "You knew I didn't mean it." And she was like, yes, you did. Now, she had walked to the corner store, and now we see why. She went to go buy a pregnancy test. She's back at the house, and she's taking a pregnancy test, and I'm sure you know what it is, okay? Nina and Dre are getting back from their walk at the same time that Kev is, you know, now about to leave. Keisha comes out the bathroom, and she has this look on her face, and they're like, what? And she has the pregnancy test in her hand. And I'm just like, child, we don't need no more heaped on top of this poor girl. Of course, she's upset. She don't want anybody to know. And they tell her, don't worry about that. You know, only the family, only this family what's in this walls right now is going to be the ones to know. Nobody else has to know anything. We're going to take care of this. Okay, so I'm assuming that means that they're going to get an abortion. I don't know. Could you keep a rapist baby? People do it all the time. It does happen. It takes a special person. I don't think that I could keep a rapist baby either. But some people say that it's the connection that you have with the child and not with the trauma that created the child. I don't know, though, you guys. Could you do it? Now, later on in the show, we see that Keisha wants to go running, and she goes in there to ask Kev to run with her. You know, he was just like, no, I don't feel like running. I don't like running. She was just like, I'm afraid to run by myself. And he says, okay, but just don't leave me like you always do. Okay. So he gets dressed. They get out on the street, and they're running. And again, Keisha's not okay, right? So there's a bus coming down the street, and that's another trigger for her. She thinks about when, we assumed that she was kidnapped from the bus stop. That's what we were shown anyway. So when she sees the bus, she's thinking about the kidnapping and all of that, and she starts to have another one of her panic attacks. Of course, she hadn't left Kevin, so he didn't even see the panic attack, but he did see her sitting on the side of the curb, and she was crying, or she was back in that breathing, like hyperventilating and trying to listen to her app. So Kev comes and sits next to her, and she finally allows him to console her. I was like, poor Keisha, poor Kev, all that whole family, it's pretty fucked up for them right now. When she gets back to the house, she's in her room, she's on her computer, and her mom comes in the door. Nina notices that she's looking at on a website that says what to expect the first week or first month of pregnancy. And Nina was like, what is this? Like, you having second thoughts? And Keisha was like, no, I was curious. And Nina was like, well, maybe you should lay down. Like, she don't know what to tell the poor child. Nina is just lost. This was something maybe Dre could have handled. But she tells her again that they'll take care of it, and that, for her not to worry about it. But something tells me that Keisha's going to want to end up keeping this baby. Now, you guys, we see Emmett and the family, okay? Jada, Tiff, and Dom, better known as Lala. They were at they're at Sonny's. They're getting it prepared for the grand opening. Again, when exactly did they get this place? I guess it was after they cooked for Lil Rel, but we didn't see it officially. But whatever, child. They trying to get this place together. So everybody's cleaning up, doing their part. What we gonna call it? Lala says, let's call it Emmett and Dom's. He was like, no, that's bad luck naming it after somebody. Look at Sonny, okay? Whose name is still on the sign outside, and Sonny ain't nowhere to be found. They did Sonny so damn wrong, y'all. They could at least kept Sonny on, as the face of the business or some shit. But anyway, he says, no, that's not gonna work, So he says he's just waiting to be inspired. And then Dom goes, well, let me know if you need some inspiration. And of course, Jada and Tiff are there, right? So they both catch it. And Tiff just sort of looks. Jada's like, I know my damn son. Later on, we see Emmett talking to Tiff, gives her a massage because she's been working so hard. He's so thankful for her. He's still trying to come up with names. Okay, suck my bones. She was like, that sounds like an amateur porn, movie. No, let's not do that. But anyway, you guys, Emmett is feeling so guilty. So he thanks her for always being in his corner, always being loyal, even when he wasn't. And she was like, of course, because I love my baby, and that's what I do for my baby. She's so proud of him, and she tells him, I'm proud of you. I just hate that they had him sleep with Dom. It was such an unnecessary act. But I guess it's to show that Emmett still hasn't grown all the way. So after that, he goes and tells Dom that they need to talk. And she was like, talk about what? And he was like, you gonna act like what happened the other day didn't happen? And she was just like, I don't care about that. Like, I keep telling you that I'm not like these messy girls that you normally mess with. So it didn't mean nothing to you. And she was just like, don't be mad that I'm not begging you to suck your dick again. And then he was just like, well, you act like you like it. And she was like, I'm good at what I do. And he was like, and I'm good at what I do too. So now it's just like, why are you guys even talking about this at the place? You know that your mama and that Tiff is around, and you just talking everything. You just asking to get caught. So far, Dom is looking like she's trying to be cool about the whole thing. Emmett is the one that keeps bringing it up. Nigga, just act like it didn't happen. Just erase it. Like Drea said, you can erase your wholeness. Just take it out. Just don't even talk about it. Don't think about it, nothing. But of course, he gets all prideful. I love my family, and I'm not going to burn down my house for nothing. And she was like, nobody asked you to, Emmett. Will you calm the fuck down? Okay. While he going off on her, Jada's over in the, she comes in the room. She's overheard him, I'm sure. At least she knows that there's some tension there. She might not know exactly what. So she was like, these lights not going to hang themselves. I need some help. All right. So she gets Emmett outside, and he hangs the lights out on the patio or whatever. And then she was just like, so now what's going on with you and Dom? Why are y'all arguing? Did you fuck her? He says, no. But of course, like I said, Jada knows her son. So she was just like, Like, why would you do that? Of course, he's just like, Mama, it didn't mean nothing and it's never gonna happen again. You know, me fucking Dom made me realize how much I love Tiff. You know, that old warped way of thinking. So he pleading his case, and Jada was like, you ain't gotta apologize to me, okay? But I'm gonna just let you know that Tiff is smart. And if I was able to figure it out, you know, you better get your lie together. We see Kev come down to the restaurant later on. He's gonna help him try to get this app together so that people can pay through the iPad when they come into the restaurant. Emmett asked how Keisha's doing, and Kev was like, she just weird, you know, still the same, it just ain't right. And he was just like, it's gonna take some time, you know, just give her some time to get through it. She's been through a whole lot. Okay, but hey, listen to this name that I thought about, Great Smokes. And Kev was like, nah, that sound like you selling weed. I was like, actually, Great Smokes wasn't too bad if you ask me. But nope, stick to the drawing board. Emmett goes home. Tiff is there. I think Tiff is probably, was she taking a nap or something? And they got Smokey Robinson playing in the background. I don't care about anything else but being with you, being with you, being with you. Smokey with that crazy vibrato. That's making his guilt even worse. So he jumps up, runs down to the pawn shop, and he goes in. He tells the lady, what can he get for $500? She was like, not really nothing good. You know, he was like, I just need an engagement ring, you know, for my girl. He's like, how much is that one? She says $500 plus that watch that you got on. This watch was from my cousin who died, gave it to me before they died. She was like, I don't give a fuck. If that's what you want, that's what it's gonna cost. So he sacrifices his dead cousin's watch, and he gets the ring for Tiff. Back at the restaurant, we see Dom in there. She's trying to clean off, I guess, the smoker or whatever. And Tiff comes in. I was like, oh, God, not good, not good, Dom. Okay, well, how you gonna be? But Dom keeps a pretty, you know, she keeps a pretty even keel, and she don't really give away the fact that her and Emmett have done anything, you know. She's talking to Tiff and saying how she feels sorry for Tiff because she knows that Emmett gets on her nerves. So she can imagine how it is for Tiff, you know. It just kind of two girls co-signing on dealing with Emmett. And then we hear him outside like, yeah, Dom, Tiff, come here, come here. So they jump up and go out there like, what, Emmett? And then he was like, look, that's the name of the place. And the name of the restaurant is Smokey's. They was like, oh, okay, I like it. Okay, Tiff was like, Smokey's from Fridays? That was like my favorite character. He was like, no, fool. Smokey like Smokey Robinson. I was like, I like Great Smokes better. I mean, I was just like, that was your big revelation is Smokey's? I mean, that's normal. That seems like that would be normal for a damn barbecue restaurant, but whatever. He was so happy about it, and they seemed to like it. So, I mean, I guess that's what it is. Now, you guys, at Papa Daddy Church, you know, everybody is praising the fact that Ronnie saved Keisha. They got him up there, a special little part of the church, like announcements. They have him up on the stage, and Papa's just talking about, Papa's daddy is just talking about how, you know, his life was in shambles until he turned it over to God. And then, of course, God led him to Keisha. Someone in the congregation don't see it that way. Saving that bitch don't mean shit. He's still a murderer. Ronnie's never gonna be able to escape that in certain parts of Chicago anyway. So Ronnie kind of feels bad. I was like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? Nigga, this church. We is in church, and you up here cussing like a fucking sailor. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Get him out of here. You know, Pastor was like, don't pay him no mind. Give it up for Ronnie. You know, and Ronnie was just like, oh, I don't deserve any praise. I'm just a vessel. To God be the glory. So his ex gets up, Jason's mom, I can't remember her name right now. But anyway, she gets up and she says that, you know, she's so thankful for him and he had been there for her when she was going through it, you know, with Jason dying. So her group, remember she has that support group, they got some money together and they want to give it to him, you know, reward money. All right, we see Otis and Rose sitting in the congregation and they jump up and, you know, Rose was just like, we would like to also add to that reward money. We were thinking $5,000 would go a long way. Rose just running off at the mouth, talking to the congregation. You know, Otis is trying to talk. And every time he tried to talk, she kind of cuts him off because she's still continuing on. Okay. But then she finally gives the floor to Otis only to be cut off by Pastor. He was like, okay, well, let's choose this time right now to close up. And, you know, Otis looks at Rose like, you big mouth bitch. Like, you ain't even gave me a chance to talk. Why are we here if I'm not campaigning? He was mad as hell at old Candy, you guys. So later on, we see Otis after church. You know, they having like refreshments for Ronnie or whatever. And he's talking to his, you know, talking to his people, his community, who he plans on representing. And he's telling them that, yeah, he's going to work on the infrastructure, going to fix all these potholes, get the community back together. And Rose is just like, yes, and that is one of a plan that we call reparations. He looked over at her like, bitch, will you shut up? Okay. He kind of hustles her off to the side, and he was just like, stick to the script. And she was just like, I am sticking to the script. I wrote the script. And he was like, don't be talking about no reparations. That make the white people upset. Okay. And she was just like, she don't give a damn. Anyways, let's shake them up a little bit is more interesting than some damn potholes. Rev comes over there. The Rev is no longer supporting Camille. Now he's throwing his support behind Otis Perry. Okay. Even though Camille gave him that money. But you know, he said that he saw the light, which means that he gave the money away. So I guess that took the burden off of him, you know, opened him up back to going to heaven. But it was interesting that when he pulls Otis to the side, he says that he was interested in seeing Angela again. And Otis just kind of smiles like, oh yeah, that Angela, she is something else, isn't she? I was like, now who is Angela? Is Daddy married? We ain't never seen Papa Mama, so maybe he's single. But still, you the pastor who you out here philandering with. You know, Otis hooking you up with. Is you getting you some cooch on the side, pastor? What's happening? Who's Angela, y'all? Did I miss something? We see Papa at the same time. He's over there talking to Ronnie. And Ronnie tells him that he's leaving, okay? That this was his ticket out. I guess this extra money that he got together today was his answer, for sure. I'm going to Springfield. What's there? Some friends and a job. His ex overhears him, and she was just like, are you leaving? And he was just like, yep, planning on leaving tomorrow. Of course, Rev overhears that, and he comes over there and is just like, don't you forget, you know, God loves a friendly, a faithful giver or whatever. And Ronnie was just like, don't you worry, I'll give you my tithes. Oh yeah, the Lord will be happy to get that 10%. Child, I don't really know what to think about Papa Daddy. Every time I be like, okay, he on the up and up, then it just be something slightly just a little bit off. But anyway, you guys, after church, that Otis tell Rose that he got it from here. After the refreshments is over and Otis is leaving, he see Rose outside and he says, are you the damn candidate? Are you? No, you not? Okay, then take your ass home. Okay, he about sick of Rose. He walk off and, you know, Candy was just like, you know, that face that she make like, what I do? I ain't even doing it. Then we see Ronnie come out and he's talking to his ex, and he was just like, I thought you already left. And she was just like, yeah, I had to hurry up and get out of there. You know, they was passing around that collection plate a little too tough for her. She asked him, does he want to see the baby, Jason's baby? And he was just like, yeah, I'd love that. And he was like, but is that okay with the mama? And she was like, it better be. As much as I babysit that baby for her. Then she tells him that she'd be sad to see him go, you know, that the city won't be the same without him. But Ronnie got to go. He said, I'm about to go lay my grandma's ashes down by the pond, and I would love for you to come with me. She was like, Miss Ethel hated me. And he was like, nah, she ain't hate you. She just loved me more. I said, no, she hated you. So she goes on and walks with him down there to where he gonna scatter the ashes. And she says, you know, you don't have to leave to start over. I've been here long enough. So he talks about this area that the granny used to like to come and visit and think and whatever, and this is where they are. So he goes and spreads the ashes. Well, he throws the ashes in the pond. But then afterwards, you know, they're walking home and, you know, laughing, reminiscing about some old times when they were together, a particular Thanksgiving. She was just like, I ruined that day. And he was like, no, you didn't. That was a great holiday. Then she gets a text from Sydney, which is the baby mama. And the text says that they can come by tomorrow after the girl gets off work. Is that okay? I was like, oh, Ronnie, you leaving in the morning. Remember, you leaving first thing smoking. So when she tells Ronnie, of course, he's like, yeah, he's down because he wants to see the baby. I was just like, I knew right then, y'all, that what ended up happening was going to happen, but we'll talk about that later. He walks her on home. He thanks her for everything. She goes inside. Fine. Okay. Next day, He's there with the baby. Let's just you and I get together on this one. So Keisha was gone for 2 months. Okay, maybe some time has passed and they in therapy and all of that. We don't really know, but let's just be generous and give it 6 months when all this has gone down. Why the damn baby almost 2 years old? She just had the baby at the beginning of the season, didn't she? Baby mama say that she want to put the baby in a gifted school, but it costs a lot, so she's gonna take out a loan. And the ex was like, and be in debt for the rest of your life. And here go Ronnie. Here, you can have this. Okay, and I was like, I know that ain't the $5,000. What is that money you just gave her? Okay, I was confused, but I was also annoyed because I was just like, you need every bit of money that you can get. I know it helps to help her, but why couldn't you just keep your money, go down, get your job, and then tell her that you was going to pay the child's tuition and you was going to put something on it? Okay, but just give it I don't know what it was, but I was just like, oh, God. Ronnie just always making it worse for himself. But, you know, he just happy to help. Afterwards, when they leave, the ex was like, oh, that was really kind of you. Okay, it's the least he can do. I said, no, it's the most you can do, Ronnie. You doing the most. So the ex was like, hey, are you hungry? Because Emmett is having his grand opening. And, you know, I thought maybe we go down there and get some barbecue. All right. First, Ronnie was just like, I don't know, but I do like barbecue. Okay, everybody does. All right, so they heading down that way. Now, let's jump over to Trig. So we see his G-Wagon. The alarm is going off. If you have a G-Wagon and you have an alarm on it, I don't think you can afford it. I don't think that that's something that you really needed to get if you got to have an alarm on it. When you can afford a damn $150,000 vehicle, then that means that you should be able to afford the insurance and not worry about if somebody's trying to steal it. Anyway, he got the shit parked out in front of his place. And when the alarm go off, he come running out, you know, yeah, motherfucker, crackhead. You know, Jake was with him. So Jake was like, that ain't no crackhead. That's Lil Jay from 63rd. You know, they look in the car and he was like, he didn't take nothing. And then Trig was like, yeah, but he left something and it's a bunch of drugs. Jake looks at that and he says, I got an idea. I was like, oh, God. Since when do we take ideas from 14, 15-year-old boys? You know, but I'm just like, what's the idea, Jake? Well, next thing we see is Jake and Trig in front of Otis Perry's house. And, you know, Trig was like, so if you see anything fishy, if anything go down, you know, you get out of there. Don't worry about it. Jake got it. So Jake goes inside. This nigga trying to break in the safe. I've been just pushing buttons. And she's bang, bang, bang. You know, he ain't getting it right. So here come Rose around the corner. She was just like, oh, so he trying to break in the safe, huh? 11/27/46. And she just walk out the room. And Jake just doesn't think nothing about any of that. He takes the numbers, opens it up, and gets out whatever he's looking for. So he run back to the car. You know, Trig was like, did anybody see you? And he said, no. Okay. And then next we see them go to Camille's campaign headquarters. They want to talk to Camille. Well, Camille ain't there. Well, who the fuck are you? I'm the campaign manager. What is it I can do for you? Okay. They hand him this envelope, this folder that Jake had gotten out of the safe. Okay. So the guy is looking at it and you can tell this is some hot shit right here. And so he says, so what do we owe? How much do we owe you for this? And Trig was like, just consider it a gift. It's your lucky day. I said, that fucking Jake and Trig gonna fuck around and get everybody killed. Because if Otis don't win the mayor ship, then what the fuck does he need Jake for? All right, I'd kill all of them. Shit, fuck it. All right, you guys, so it's time for Emmett's grand opening. You know, Kev is at home and he texts Gemma and says, you know, meet me at Emmett's for the grand opening. And she was just like, will you stop texting me? My daddy is checking my text messages. I can't meet you down there. But whatever, down at the place, you know, it's a big ribbon cutting ceremony and Emmett and Dom is out there and, you know, they making sure that everybody knows about the place. Dom says, make sure you put it on your social media so we can blow this place up so that we can be a part of Oprah's favorite things. So then we cut the ribbon. And then he says, wait a minute, I got one more thing. You know, he gets down on his knees, tells Tiff how much he loves her and how much she been there and, you know, yada, 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 will you marry me? She's, oh, yeah, you know. We see Dom, she got a little smidge of something. It's not quite jealousy, but there's something that she was feeling there. Okay, but she still was able to keep her face together, you know, claps for him when they hug and kiss. And then we all go into Smokies. Tiff is so excited. She asked Jada, did she know anything about this? And Jada said, nope, didn't know nothing about it. You know, when y'all talking about getting married, she don't know. Okay, Jada said, ain't nothing wrong with a long engagement. Okay, y'all ain't ready, trust me. So the place is packed full. Emmett is fussing at Lil Rel because he told, I guess, some entertainer rapper or somebody there that him and his crew could get their food for free. And Emmett was like, we not doing that shit. Can't nobody afford this. But Lil Rel tells him he got like 4 million followers and, you know, he gonna blow the spot up. So just act like you got some sense, you know. Yeah, use it to your advantage, Emmett. Okay, now his daddy get there with his own trifling ass. Jada was like, oh, so your son got engaged. He was like, to who? Okay, with that damn Bluetooth in his ear. just classic nigga for real. She was like, fool to his baby mama. He was like, which one? She said Tiff. And he was like, oh, Tiff is fucking around if you ask me. And she was like, Tiff is not the one fucking around. He was like, well, she not doing her wifely duties. Why are you talking to this ignorant ass fool? But we see Emmett in the kitchen with Dom. And I was just like, will you drop it? Like, he will not let it go. She's telling him that she's fine. And he was like, oh, you know, are you sure you okay? She was like, why wouldn't I be? Can you leave me alone? I'm busy, nigga. He said he just making sure that she making the food with love, okay? She was like, I do everything with love, don't you know? All right, so while they had a little moment, I was like, you gonna get caught with these old slick-ass conversations in the place. Here come his father. Oh, look at you. You must be the one I keep hearing them about that cooks so well. Okay. You know, you must be Dom. And she was like, and you must be Darnell. I heard so much about you. He just gives all the classic lines, you know, when he was like, Dom and Darnell. 2 D's. They sound good together, don't it? I said, just sounds just like somebody uncle trying to flirt with somebody. Will you go somewhere, Darnell? So he goes back out to the restaurant. Tiff all excited about her rig, and he was like, that old little ass thing, that shit looked like it came from the pawn shop. You know, Jada looking at him like, will you be quiet? He is really just honestly a mess. He don't even know it. Now, Kev and Papa come in, and, you know, Kev is all frustrated because he can't talk to Gemma, and Papa was like, I wouldn't let you talk to my daughter either if I knew you was trying to fuck her. And he was like, I wasn't trying to fuck her. She was trying to fuck me. He got to figure out a way to turn this whole thing around. And Papa tells him that he got an idea. So later on, we see that Papa's idea was for him to hit her up on IG. Okay. You can slide in her DMs now. And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm sure that her father ain't checking her DMs. Ronnie and his ex has made it down there to Smokies. And, you know, Emmett calls him to the front of the line. Everybody y'all like, why they get to go? And he was like, this man is a hero. Okay, so what do you guys want? So afterwards, after they done had a fine time at Smokies, everybody having a good time, finished eating, Ronnie and his ex is leaving. You know, he throws away their trash. He's walking down the alley. I'm presuming that Ronnie is about to leave. He should have been gone already, but nope. And sure enough, we hear something go pow, pow. And then that mad motherfucker from church was like, that's for Coogee, motherfucker. He done shot Ronnie in his head. Killed him. You know, the ex is screaming, you know, oh no, Ronnie. And I was just like, you should have left, Ronnie. You should have left. All right, you guys, that is it. We got one more episode, and this will be a wrap on The Chi next week. Let me do P-Valley now. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.